Folks, welcome back to the BetPTC.com rebate play of the week. Before you start your handicapping, make sure you go to LoneSpeed.com, click on the banner at the top. That will take you to BetPTC.com, where you can sign up and get great rebates. And again, that's why we are playing the Indiana Grand Pick 3 on a Tuesday, because of the rebates that they offer at BetPTC.com. Let's start with race 7. And I singled here, number 1, Jordan's Kitten. And my reason for that is she's run well the distance. She's run well over the Indiana Grand grass. And she's also run very well off a layoff before. This is her first start since last September. And we noticed that in July 2019, off a pretty lengthy layoff, she ran a fast closing 4th in there. Didn't get the job done, but was way back early. And it was certainly not a bad effort. And then in July of 2020, also off a pretty lengthy layoff, got the win here at Indiana Grand, going a mile and a 16th. If you pay attention to Timeform US pace projections, I think you'll agree with me that Jordan's Kitten is going to be making up the most ground late. She fits on class. I gave a look to the rest of the field. I watched a bunch of replays. Ultimately, I think it really comes down, in my opinion, to 3 horses: the 1, the 5, Straight Out of Popcorn, and the 10. Bloody Mary Morning. If I was going to go too deep, I'd probably use the 10, but I don't really feel all that concerned here with just going 1 deep to start off this pick 3, and that 1 is the 1, Jordan's Kitten. Let's move on to leg 2, race 8, and I used what I think are the 3 obvious ones in here. Gave a look to the 1, decided that she just wasn't for me. The 3, Spiteful Charge, ran okay in that Keeneland race. I think the 2-turn dirt races for Spiteful Charge have been solid enough to the point where you have to say that she fits on class, and I think she can be counted on to run her best race. Whether that's good enough, we'll find out. I also used the 7, Hindsight, for Victoria Oliver. Bad starts in her last 2, both of which were around 1 turn. Before that, she tried 2 turns at Tampa. That was off a layoff. You can excuse that one. I think with a better start today and the stretch out to 2 turns, Hindsight is going to run a better effort. Treaty of Paris for Asmussen. I don't know that I would have included this one were it not for the fact that she's trained by Asmussen, who has 4 wins from his first 7 starters here at the Indiana Grand meet. This one, I think, has to be included. Gun to my head, I picked the 7 to win. I think the 3 is live also, and we'll use 3. The 3, the 7, and the 8 here in leg 2 of the pick 3, which takes us into race 9, the finale. And I only used 2 in here. We'll get to my rationale in a minute. The one that I'm going to be leaning on the most heavily is the 9. I'm intrigued for Tom Amoss off the claim from Brad Cox. I didn't get warm and fuzzies on this one, but I tell you, I went back and watched this replay for the May 13th race at Indiana Grand, where several of these are coming out of, and I thought they were all just absolute dogs. There's nothing coming out of there that I would want any part of at all, so I tossed all of them. And I also tossed this 4, Authoritarian. I noticed that that he put up a 63 buyer in the maiden $75,000 race at Churchill Downs, and I'm not one to say that it's an illegitimate buyer, but sometimes these horses on turf, they're beating up a bunch of lengths. In this case, only 6 1/4 lengths. But there's no question that this one wasn't really ever in contention in this race. It never looked like a winner at all, and someone had to finish 8th. The way the race kind of unfolded, you didn't really get the sense that anybody was going to finish 15 to 20 lengths back, and nobody did. There's only about 2 3/4 lengths back to the 9th place finisher. Half a length back to the 9th place finisher, and 2 3/4 lengths back to the 10th place finisher. So, no one was earning a 40 buyer speed figure in here. So I don't know that I think that that's legitimate, or let me just say it this way. I don't think that 63 is representative of this one's best. I mean, he was running for maiden 7,500 earlier in the year at Turfway Park. Didn't win. I mean, was competitive, finished 2nd of 10. So I'm not in any way suggesting that this one wasn't competitive at that level, but how are you going to take a horse that was running for 7,500 and then 15,000 seriously when you're coming in, against a horse that was just claimed by Tom Amoss for 30,000, and was bet down to single-digit odds that day and the start before at Turfway Park. So to me, the 9 is just at a different class level than the 4. All the horses coming out of the Ubuntu race on May 13th, I tossed. And that left the 3 to go along with the 9. I'm the Prince. Yes, I know, also running for maiden 7,500 at Turfway Park and not doing as well as the other horse, the 4 that we talked about in here. I get it. This one is making the first turf start for a barn that pulls a winner out of a hat once in a while. 15% win rate at this meet. First turf, small sample size, just 1 win from 3 starts, but that one paid a lot of money. The sprint to route angle is pretty good for this barn if trainer angles are your thing. And then recently, since the last race, we've got some turf works. In fact, if we scroll down, we can see there's another one in here as well. And the turf works, at least by the stopwatch, were certainly not bad. I'm not saying there's anything in this one's pedigree or in the works that suggest that he's been screaming out for grass all along. But why not include this one? This one's going to be a price. It's a swing for sure. I would never single the 3, but I think since we're only going pretty slim, we're 1 by 3 before this point, we can afford to go 2 deep here in the final leg of the pick 3. So to recap, Indiana Grand Race 7, our BetPTC.com rebate play of the week. We'll start off with a single, the 1, Jordan's Kitten. Then we go 3 deep in leg 2, number 3, Spiteful Charge, number 7, Hindsight, and number 8, Treaty of Paris. And simply because we can afford to, we'll go 2 deep in this very slim pick 3 play. In the final leg, number 3, I'm the Prince, who is going to be a huge price, even with the scratches. And number 9, I'm Intrigued, first time for Tom Amos. That's it. That's the play. Best of luck.